Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nida. If you're new here, then this channel is all about mindful living, slowing down, reconnecting with what truly matters in life. In today's video, I wanted to share 5 of some of my favorite books that have helped me with overthinking. As over the last few years, I've been on a journey of healing, simplicity, and just becoming more aware of myself. And along the way, I read some amazing books that have really changed the way that I think. These books really helped me become a lot more mindful in the way that I live and the things that I choose to do in my life and with my time. So let's get straight into it. So the first one is The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard. Neville Goddard's teachings came into my life when I felt really stuck, doubting myself and worrying too much about the future, and carrying this low-level anxiety that I just couldn't shake. This book reminded me that our awareness is like what we dwell on, think about, and believe shapes our external reality. And it's not about controlling the outside world, it's about shifting within and changing the frequency that you operate in. What really landed for me was this idea of you become what you believe yourself to be. When I realized that overthinking was just me unconsciously focusing on fear, I started to choose thoughts that aligned with peace instead. Simple things like visualizing peace and stillness and simplicity instead of tension. It started to create subtle but very powerful shifts in my life. I realized that overthinking is mostly just misplaced energy, and this book helped me to reclaim that energy and direct it towards the life that I actually want to create. If I had to recommend one book to anyone and everyone, because this is the book that I always go back to, and it's this one. It's just full of little wisdom. Like, it's such a short book, but it's just full of wisdom. And that's The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And it's just a book that I always kind of go back to because it just reminds me of like the 4 simple pillars of how you should operate in life. So the 4 agreements in this book is: be impeccable with your word, don't take anything personally, do not make assumptions, and always do your best. The second one, don't take anything personally, was definitely a big wake-up call for me. I used to take many things to heart, especially what people said and what they thought of me and how they reacted to me, like a friend cancelling plans or short replies in texts. But when I read this, nothing others do is because of you, it is because of themselves. It felt like I had permission to let go after reading this book, because overthinking usually comes from trying to control or interpret other people's actions. And this book gave me the freedom to stop doing that and to just be in my own energy. This next book is something that I read once, and the first time I read it, I didn't understand it, I couldn't appreciate it. So I reread it again a few years later, and my perception of it was completely different because I felt like I had grown as a person. So I was able to process the information a lot more better and just implement it into my life as well. And that's Ikigai by Hector, Garcia and Francesc Miralles. And honestly, this is another one of those books that I really definitely recommend for everybody to read. Ikigai is a Japanese word that means the reason for being. This book explores the idea that living with purpose doesn't have to be like this big dream or chasing these big goals, because sometimes it's all about finding the joy in the small things, like preparing a simple meal, tending to your garden, or just moving your body very gently. Reading it really helped me to slow down. I realized that so much of my overthinking came from the idea of the fact that I had to have it all figured out, to know my purpose, to have some sort of plan. But then I kind of realized that my purpose is to be, to just be, and to choose the things that make me happy. Just on a little matcha break. And I realized that purpose can be light. It can be woven into everyday rituals and community and into presence. And I stopped overthinking when I stopped trying to find my purpose and actually starting living it. This next one is How to Stop Worrying and Start Living by Carnegie. This is an old classic. It's a proper classic book that you probably have heard of before. It's packed with practical tools of managing worry and mental spirals. One concept in this book that really helped me is the living in day-tight compartments, which means only focusing on today, not dragging yesterday's mistakes into today or living in tomorrow's anxiety, just being present with what's right in front of me. What I learned the most from this book is the fact that when we live one day at a time, our mind can finally rest and we don't have to fix everything all at once. And the last book is The Art of Effortless Living. I read this at the beginning of this year, I believe, and it's by Ingrid Bacci. Really nice book, loved it. It introduced me to the idea that overthinking isn't just mental, it's also physical, because we hold tension in our shoulders, in our jaws, in our stomachs, and that tension just keeps us locked in that stress loop. Ingrid speaks about the importance of softness, surrendering, breathing properly. She writes about releasing control and just trusting in life a little more and just letting divine timing do its thing. I think what surprised me the most is the fact that physical stillness brought me a lot of mental stillness as well. Things like lying on the floor and just breathing, just literally focusing on deep belly breaths and just get all that oxygen in and just let all the carbon out. Doing less and allowing things to happen. That's where a lot of shifts began with me mentally, especially. And also my body. I felt my body relax a lot more too. Because I'm someone that tends to hold a lot of tension in my chest. I've spoken about this in my other videos as well. And that's where I feel a lot of like anxiety and just tension. And it just taught me how to release that one day at a time and just be a lot more aware of it. So when I get that feeling, I know how to respond to it and what to do when that does come up. This book also made me realize that overthinking is a form of resistance. And this book reminded me that peace isn't something that we force, it's something that you have to allow. These 5 books didn't just allow me to think differently, but they also allow me to live differently as well now. Slower, softer, with less control and more trust. I'd love to know below in the comments if you have read any of these books, and if you have, what were your thoughts, and if there's any similar kind of books that you would recommend to read as well. I would love to know. If you enjoyed this content, please leave a like and subscribe for more mindful living content, and share this with a friend if this resonated with you. It might resonate with them as well. Thank you for being here and sharing your time with me. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of the day, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.